In the race for the state crown, the Buff and Blue has both hands on the wheel and hoping to rev up the engine, seeking redemption and a spot in the winner's circle. But this team is turbocharged, looking for a 24th state crown. Wave the green for go. Here we are, Punahou, Kamehameha for the D1 crown. BYU-Hawaii, the dream destination for more than 50 high school teams to start this season. Tonight, reality sets in for the last two teams in the chase for the championship. We come to you from the Cannon Activity Center, and we are set for the 523rd and final match of the girls volleyball season. Welcome inside. This is the 2023 New City Nissan Division I Girls Volleyball State Championship. And so we meet again. It's round number 6 between the last two standing in the ILH. 16-4 Punahou, 16-1, and number 1 Kamehameha Kapalama. A sweeps here for the Warriors. In the quarters over Punahou. In the semis over the MIL champions. Punahou, a longer route, knocked off Kahuku. Then Mililani found themselves a winner over the BIF champs. And so we have them again for the 21st time in the HHSAA final. It's the Hill and the Buff and Blue. Great to have you with us. Courtside, great to have you with us. Felipe Hostio along with my guy Kevin Wong. Jimmy Bender on the way in just a second. And so 4 losses this year here for the Buff and Blue. All of them coming to the Warriors. How does that shape up this matchup here? Round 6 now between these two teams.
Throw them all out the window, right? Like every one of those matches is this small. This match tonight is humongous.
Yeah, and there are humongous stars all over the court here tonight. It's cliche, but we always say your best players got to play at their best. Let's start it off here with Punahou.
Hamea Marimoto, the senior outside hitter, the job she did throughout the year, but specifically last night, hit high, hit hard, hit smart, hit with different shots and variety and deception. She is the offensive firepower for Punahou.
For the Warriors, they're playing in their 35th HHSAA final. All the legends of the game that came through that campus, and one more story to be told here for Adriana Arquette.
Adriana Arquette is Superwoman without the kryptonite. She can do everything. She can pass, she can hit, she can set, she can play defense, she can block, and she's going to have her biggest match of her career if she wants her team to win the championships here tonight.
From Superwoman to our Iron Man, Jimmy Bender, who has the New City Nissan Court Report. Jimmy.
Yeah, guys, and when you got two teams that have faced each other 5 times over the last couple of months, it really strategy's out the window. The question I asked both coaches tonight before this one is, what's your final thought going into it? And on the Punahou side for Tita Ahuna, she said, we've got to play our best game. Bottom line, I said, was last night good enough to get it done? She thinks so. She thinks if they can carbon copy last night, they can win tonight. Over on the Kamehameha side, Chris Blake saying it's all about everything that's led up to this. It's the training. It's the trust the process. He said if they can do everything they've trained for, they will get the win tonight. Guys, back to you.
So much star power, so much collegiate talent, has all the makings of something special here tonight. In a brand new venue, the finish line is here. The trophy in sight and ready for the taking. Kamehameha, Punahou, one more time here in the New City Nissan Division I Girls Volleyball State Championship. Kamehameha has won 14 of the previous 20 state championship meetings with the Buff and Blue. This one going to be ultra special, especially for Kamehameha after, as we mentioned multiple times, not qualifying for the tournament last year. Punahou got bounced in the quarterfinal round to a very, very good Kamehameha Hawaii team. The Hawaii Island Warriors got all the way to the final a year ago. Now here they are. 2014, the last final for Punahou, where they won the championship. That year they lost to Kamehameha 3 times, but won the one that mattered in the Blaisdell. Nearly a decade since they took home a crown. Kamehameha trying to capture and already add to their record-setting, record-breaking string of championships. 23 already, looking for title number 24. What an atmosphere, huh? And what a finish.
I mean, this place is electric. It's loud. It's rowdy. People are all fired up from the D2 championship match, which was an epic all-timer.
These two teams, the best in their division, the best in their game, and hoping to play their best at the biggest time of the year. They've been waiting forever for this moment, especially here for Kamehameha. Punahou looking to take back the crown for the first time in nearly a decade. The teams and the coaches on the floor, let's meet them. For the Zippy starting introductions, here's Kyle Miyamoto.
Aloha volleyball fans, and welcome to the Cannon Activity Center here on the campus of BYU-Hawaii for the 2023 New City Nissan HHSAA Girls Volleyball State Championships. Tonight's Division I championship match features the Interscholastic League of Honolulu runner-up, the Punahou Buff and Blue, as they take on Interscholastic League of Honolulu champion and top-seeded Kamehameha Kapalama Warriors. Here are your starters. First for the Buff and Blue. And outside hitter, a 6-foot senior, number 2, Haumea Marumoto. At center, a 5'10 senior, number 3, Rella Binney. And outside hitter, a 5'8 senior, floor captain, number 5, Lulu Uluave. At middle blocker, a 5'8 junior, number 12, Fa'atamali'i Brown. And opposite, a 5'9 sophomore, number 16, Kealohalani Cox. At middle blocker, a 5'9 freshman, number 18, Evelyn Khaleesi. And at libero, a 5'7 senior, number 9, Reese Teves. The head coach for the Buff and Blue is Tita Ahuna. Now here are the starters for the Warriors. At center, a 5'9 senior, number 9, Emma Lilo. At middle blocker, a 6-foot senior, number 11, Tia Kapihe. At middle blocker, a 5'10 junior, number 13, Alohalani Chun. And outside hitter, a 5'8 junior, number 15, Kamana'o Goldstein. And outside hitter, a 5'11 sophomore, number 16, Kala Chalk. And opposite, a 6-foot senior, floor captain, number 17, Adriana Arquette. And at libero, a 5'2 sophomore, number 10, Ashley Lum. The head coach for the Warriors is Chris Blake.
And he's always thinking about the island of Maui, too, huh? What a class act from Chris Blake wearing the Kamehameha visor with the Maui stitching on. The last time these two teams met, we saw them play at Kekuhapio Gymnasium in the ILH tournament final. It was the night where Kamehameha locked up the ILH championship and the 1 seed. Kev, so often we talk about these heavyweight showdowns, right, and the familiarity between these two programs. I posed this question to you yesterday in the postgame. How much of tonight is about game plan? How much of it tonight is just about execution because they know each other so well?
Tonight is about seizing the moment. Tonight is about not letting the moment be bigger than you are. It's about leadership on both sides. It's about leaving it all on the court.
There's no tomorrow. This is it, and especially for the seniors. They'll continue their chapters wherever they may go. D2, D1, their career routes, college education, what have you. And for Adrienne Arquette, of course, we saw Iva Arquette and her great family in the stands. The seniors dreamed about this moment when they were juniors last year, watching it on TV, from the couch to the cannon, and maybe to the crown.
You know, I asked Chris Blake just before the match, I said, how long did it take you to get over the pain from last year? And he looked at me dead in the eye and said, I still feel it.
And not because of himself. It's for them, right? Everything has been deflected for them. Meantime, here for Tito Huna. I mean, what a job she's done in just 3 short years with this team. All-time great coaches. It's best of 5, and it's the 523rd match of the season. Off we go for the D1 crown. Lilo will feed it. There's a two-handed push from Chalk. Binney will go to Marumoto. She's blocked. Arquette and Kapihe.
That battle. Marumoto on the offensive side against the biggest, baddest block in the state. The winner of that battle might be the winner of tonight's match.
The blocks were on full display yesterday for Kamehameha in their win over Baldwin. Marumoto works around it. That one picked up there by Ashley Lum. Jumps into the middle. Arquette. Yes.
Just so many weapons for Kamehameha, and you want to focus on Adrienne Arquette. You really can't, though. It's tough. On the other side, everyone watching Haumea Marumoto.
Utah Tech bound. Kalei Watson gets it across. Binney flung it out. Here's Marumoto's third swing. Watson got the dig. Set outside. Kapihe fading away. Uluwabe there. Binney here. Middle attack. Jammed right in front of Brown.
Little collateral damage there, right? She gets the kill. And then the ball ricochets back towards her way. I'll tell you, Brown is tough, and she's been impressive all year long.
Brown floater, back row to Lum. Lilo, middle, Arquette. Brown was anticipating to go back middle. It trailed to her left. That crossed up a little bit. 3-1. Here's Kapihe. Uluwabe goes down. Binney swings it up. Marumoto. It's out. No touch.
You know, you take a look at the passing on both sides. Kamehameha, by far the best passing team in the state. For Punahou, this is their best passing lineup. They've really evolved their starting lineup over the course of the year. Tito Huna prioritizing passing.
Middle attack. There's a first swing from Kelisi. Good pickup there, beautifully by Tevez. Marumoto rejected. It's Arquette.
And by prioritizing the passing, there's no back row attack here, right? So everyone, you got a front row setter, you got 2 offensive weapons, but it really is the Haumea Marumoto show. It's really tough when an entire defense is focusing on one player.
And just collapsing. Yeah, you're exactly right. Worked it outside Uluwabe from the back row. Got it off Kapihe.
You know, I talked to Coach Tito Huna about who the player on this team that most resembles you, and right away, Lulu Uluwabe. She's tough, she plays with passion, she's competitive, she's got the older brothers, she's running around sports all her life.
Oh, how about Chun? This one goes out. Chun was dynamite blocking at the net yesterday. Crushed nearly every pass coming her way, but her first swing here tonight goes long. There's Rella Binney, who's put up 50 or more assists in multiple matches this year. Go outside Arquette.
You know, and you think about championship experience. For Kamehameha, it's pretty much Arquette, right? 2 years ago, the main player on that team. Now, for Punahou, they've got a different championship experience in going to the finals and losing, right? So, like, which of those is better? It's a kind of a toss-up.
Uluwave, Benny, Marumoto tries the right. It is down just in front of Chun.
And now the game switch a little bit, right? Because Marumoto's into the back lineup, passing the baton over to Uluwave. Arquette the same for Kamehameha. Now Kamehameha, only the 2 front row hitters. Challenges on them.
Here's Goldstein. Middle to Chun, popped up. Uluwave saved it off the block. Here comes Uluwave, her first swing tonight. Diving there is Lum. Coming down with it, Lilo. There goes Goldstein. Picked up there by Tevez. Benny in the light sees it. Flings it out. Swing there for Trot. And then near the net, and Lilo just stashing that one. My goodness. The Cox had it up there to try and just push it through down to the floor. Then off the ricochet, it ends up with Lilo. Here's Goldstein, impact player, quarterfinal round. Match against Moanalua. There is Kealohalani Cox.
I'll tell you, when they inserted Cox into the lineup first as a left side and then moving her over to the right side, something changed for Punahou. It's the emotion, it's the energy, it's the confidence that's been infectious for this team.
You might need to have a career night in order to really help supplement some of the potential miss-scoring. Chalk. Man, that approach is deadly, and Kalan Chalk.
You know, she's going to be the one that's challenged throughout the night on the passing. She makes the perfect pass. And then, how about this? Your first swing in a championship match, you have the bravado to bring out the changeup. That's pretty high level.
Cox. I mean, it's good the seniors have been all season for both of these teams. You look at Kealohalani Cox, a sophomore. Stellar performances. Kalat Chalk, another sophomore on the opposite side for Kamehameha. Buff and Blue hitting 154 so far, but hanging around. Still early. Down 2. Lilo to the backside. It's Kapihe diving after that one, and here comes Uluwave. Yes!
About midway through the ILH season, Uluwave, all of a sudden there was a change, right? She went and played some libero. She had some injury issues. I'll tell you what, though, she's a gamer, and you could see that she was planning to be at her best here tonight.
Arquette flying in for the back row off Tevez. Here for Arquette, a perfect 4 for 4. Hitting 1,000.
You know, typically a pretty smiley player. I was watching her throughout the warm-ups, throughout the introductions. You could see she was on edge, right? Like an animal waiting to be untamed.
Cage is open. Here's Uluwave. Front row there for Chalk. Lilo right down the middle. Goldstein. A rundown. Tevez, what a job. Benny floats it over. Look out. Kapihe.
It was really interesting. As the free ball is coming over, I actually saw Emma Lilo tap Tia Kapihe on the shoulder and said, hey, I'm coming to you. Like in the middle of the play. Really interesting.
Every point, Warrior Nation just exploding with noise. Benny a bump set, Uluwave, the good approach, and it is out.
Both teams coming sprinting out of the gates, right? Like they had great warm-ups, they have great energy.
There's a baseball team out in front there too.
What's the theme tonight, Felipe?
It's Imua out. Wear your best Kamehameha gear. Tevez gets the reception. Here comes Uluwave rising up. Picked up there by Lum. Lilo gets it outside. Tipped there by Chalk. Front row for Benny. Tevez up bump. Here's Uluwave. Cheese block. Rat-a-tats around Moriwaki. Uluwave arcing one out.
You know, as I've watched Kamehameha and the defense continuously from Ashley Lum, I had to do a double take on the roster that just a sophomore, right? Like, she's playing with so much composure, so much experience, so much confidence.
Into the net that goes. And this is a much better first set for Kamehameha than what they've had in all 3 of the previous 4 matches. Punahou's been able to steal some sets off and make it uncomfortable.
And Punahou's still looking for their first ace. They cannot play it safe tonight. They've got to grip it and rip it from behind the service line.
Uluwave 2 kills tonight.
That's a good one.
Off and over pass, free chance now. Benny, outside, Marumoto. That one picked up there by Goldstein. Chalk. Oh, she's roofed. Getting loud is Benny. Getting loud is Brown.
Benny doing some good job watching some video and taking away the line, right? That was Chalk's bread and butter last night. They'll talk through the net after, too. Felipe, we used to do that all the time in my generation. That doesn't happen anymore.
Arquette, the floater over the top. Still perfect. 5 kills, no errors. And the Warriors get to 13. Kamehameha hitting .333 to start this New City Nissan Division I championship. Mike's Engraving and Trophies, the official trophy provider for Spectrum OC 16 Sports. For all your special achievements, call Ryan at Mike's Engraving and Trophies. They're located in Aiea. BYU-Hawaii's campus is absolutely gorgeous. It's the roundabout just when you enter campus. The architecture, the greenery, the people, the students. Perfect place to kind of end the girls' volleyball season. The lead is 4 here for Kamehameha. Benny to Uluwave. Picked up in the back row. Lilo will feed it. Arquette, the tip. Met there by Marumoto, the slide. Uluwave popping through again. Took some off of it for Lilo. Lama back bump. This one goes to Goldstein. And it goes out. Let's get to our officials here tonight. Great crew, by the way. Randy Rumenol up top the tower. Kuipo Riso down on the floor. We got collegiate level officials here this evening. Might see Randy Rumenol on some of those Big West matches. Goldstein, the pop-up. Lilo. There's Kapihe. That goes out. So a couple unforced errors, and Punahou trying to trudge right back into this down a deuce.
Yeah, both teams, 9 hitting errors combined, right? And a lot of that is that excitement. All of them going long, right? No hitting into the net. Superhuman energy in these big matches.
Goldstein gets one back.
You know, the biggest challenge for championship matches is you don't get to practice them. No. Right? You think about it. You cannot create this energy. You can't create this impact, this weight.
Right, and coaches will try and simulate it, right? Put you in, you know, stressful mental situations in the game. They do it with kickers, right? They'll yell at the kicker in practice for football. You're not going to have 3,000 people on campus.
No.
Goldstein, good pickup from Tevez. Uluwave feeds it Marumoto. Arced it over, Kapihe in the deep back. Goldstein runs, floats. Marumoto popped it up. And Uluwave says hello. Good effort from Watson, and Uluwave, BYU bound, gets her 3rd kill.
That matchup, the back row pipe for Uluwave, going to be a big storyline throughout tonight's match, especially as Marumoto comes across, makes the dig, it takes her out of the offensive equation.
That's an ace. The first one of the night for either team, and it's Rella Binney.
I think to win sets, Punahou's going to have to get 3 aces. Anytime they get 3 or more aces, I think they got a chance to win a set.
Arquette got it.
Now, if Arquette's going to keep on hitting perfectly like she has, they might need 17 aces.
She had one tip that was dug up by Marumoto. She's 6 for 7 tonight, hitting .857 early on. Just a 2-point lead, and Hawaii's getting a great one. Uluwave handles it well. Swings it over. There goes Cox. That one dug up down the line. Chased down there by Watson one more time. And that one hit over. Worked it other side there for Cox. She's so fun to watch all season long.
Just shot out of a cannon, and after she gets the kill, you know what's great about her? You can tell she's unselfish. She goes and takes her energy and gives it to everyone else out there. Let's go.
7-5 against Kamehameha, Hawaii yesterday in the semis. Tight at the net. Khaleesi nearly put it down, and no one picked up the contact. Punahou squares it at 15.
Bright future ahead for Evelyn Khaleesi. Just a freshman. She's the first freshman on the court, right?
Yeah. Tied at the net again. Lilo's got to bump it up. Arquette keeps it on the ground. Push it to Moriwaki. Oh, what a whip there for Khaleesi.
You know, 9 out of 10 middle blockers on that play are not going to expect that set, but she's hard worker, always in the right place at the right time, and take a look. Rella Binney rewarding her because of it.
16-15. The pass was off. Goldstein couldn't get it. Timeout, Warriors. How quickly this can change. Punahou on top, set 1. Take all the great OC16 action with you on the go with the Spectrum News app. All the latest local sports, news, and weather that matter most to you. Download it out on the App Store or Google Play. The volleyball championship banners. National titles being hung up here. And on that news app, watching us, our great friend, one of the best in the biz, Lori Santi. Love you. 4-0 the run. The 2-point lead. Set 1. Arquette. Set was a little off. Had to keep it down. Chance to counter. Middle. Khaleesi goes out.
I'll tell you, this match tonight between two great teams, there's not going to be any easy journey. We could have a 3-set match, but even within those 3 sets, there's going to be some mental battles.
For sure. Kamehameha kind of going through it over these last 5 points now. Having that lead evaporate. Tevis near the net. Binney flung it out. What a set. Right to Uluwave. Rattled the cable to Arquette. Counters with Chun.
Chun has been enlightening over this season. Right, the big question mark for the last few years for Kamehameha Kapalama is who's the middle blocker? Chun saying, put me in, coach.
And Chun can get violent in a good way when the time is right. Binney flung it out. Oh, Cox down the line. Absolutely obliterates that.
There are times in your career, and you can number them usually like, you know, they're single digits, where you are unstoppable. You feel it, you know it, everyone in the stand. That's Cox right now.
Just look at her eyes.
Oh, that was close.
Very close. It's the red line. That's the volleyball court here at the Connectivity Center, and it flirted with that deep corner.
And that's the kind of intensity that Punahou needs to keep going if they want to win.
Ashley Lum. Darts one across. Tevis there, flung out here. There's Cox, the roll shot. Lum is right there. Lilo, middle, Kapihe. Off the block. Kept alive by Lilo. Arquette will set it to Chop. In the back row, Moriwaki. Binney says, I got it. In the middle, tipped around. There's Brown. Hit there by Lum. Rotated out. Chalk. Down the line, dug up by Binney. Uluwave will set it. Here comes Cox. Off the block. And down. Kapihe and Chalk.
Rella Binney, really nice one-handed stab dig early in the play. But the block for Kamehameha, really a storyline. They're tripling up 3-1 for Punahou.
Every block, the baseball team been doing push-ups in honor. Look at Brown. Nearly got that one down. Chris Blake called it out. Sailed wide. 2-point advantage. Timeout, Buff and Blue.
I mean, think about it. One timeout ago, things were looking pretty bleak for Blake and company, right? And they've turned it around. in the thick of this. What is this? This is like gladiator stuff, Felipe.
And this is the Cannon Coliseum, essentially, right? It's
Right.
just warriors and beasts and just incredible level of volleyball that we've seen here today. I mean, look at what these two teams have done, right? Combined 71 championship finals.
I am entertained, Felipe.
Were you not before? You are now.
I'm looking around for Russell Crowe. There's a new gladiator coming out.
Oh, that's with Pedro Pascal, I think, right?
I'll take your word. Yeah, but like,
that's right. Yeah. I feel like Brad Pitt's gonna come out, right? Troy and all that. Wow. 20-18 right now. Kamehameha.
you know how there's always one gladiator who kind of owns the crowd in the stands. I feel like this is a home match for Lulu Uluave, right? Like, that's one of the interesting things, right? Because you're here in Laie, she's got all the family. I was talking to some student athletes earlier, different schools, all of them. Anyone that lived in Kahuku was cheering for Punahou tonight.
And records, Lulu Uluave and the family coming from a tremendous football background, right? And Lulu has carved a nice little path on her own and has really excelled and really paved the way for so many people in this community. I just can't believe she's a senior. I mean, there's so many players on the court right now, and combined there are 19 seniors.
Wow. That's why the level of play is so high, right?
Tevez, Vinny, Uluave. Yes.
And I think that swing, that restraint, that's going to be the key for Lulu tonight. If there's anything where she might have a bad tendency, it's to overswing, to overpower, to overforce. If she can just play with a little bit more finesse, good things going to happen.
It's right through the seam of the block and dropped out in front. Here comes Shigemasa. Kapihe into the block, back to Kapihe, back to Lilo, hit by Chalk. Benny to Uluave. Squares it at 20.
Older sister playing at a high level for a long time. She's been in the gym forever, and I'll tell you, just such high volleyball IQ.
2020. What else would you expect? Arquette goes cross court. That one reeled in. Benny answers with Brown. Nothing there. Over Kapihe to Chalk. Off that block.
Punahou had their chance. Got a really good serve from Shigemasa, who also made an amazing dig in the back. And you could tell they're putting a lot of pressure on Chalk. And Chalk just having patience, hitting the high hands. Good things happen. Red zone has been Kamehameha zone all year long.
21-20. Pass, tough one. Kept alive by Chalk. Arquette rolled it and scored it. 7 kills for her.
Time and time again, we've seen so many Kamehameha Punahou matches. They get to 2020, and then all of a sudden Kamehameha goes on a run, and I really like this timeout here from Tita Ahuna. Slow it down. Take some of the air out of the momentum. And let Lulu's fans go to work.
Right, yeah. On average, roughly this season, when Kamehameha gets to 20, the average run is 5 to 1.5 points, by the way. So you got a lot of 25-21s, 25-22s. So to your credit, in that red zone, over the course of the 20 sets, and this being the 21st, that's kind of been the separation there.
You're so good, Felipe. You're like the money ball guy. I'm the old school guy who just kind of goes on his gut a little bit, right?
Oh, come on.
And is often wrong. But we talked about this last night, right? So Chris Blake, he's playing at University of Hawaii. New coach comes in, and he's kind of on the outside looking in, right? And he goes in his first coaching job with Tita Ahuna at Kamehameha. He also had played for Tita. I said, hey, Tita, what do you remember about a young Chris Blake? And she said he was always fiery. He always had energy. He was always ready to go. And you see how he runs teams right now. It's the same kind of attention to detail.
No, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. And the numbers have grown within the program. In fact, this is the largest roster that he's had in about 21 years as a head coach. He said, we wanted to value the people that have brought us here. And so they are 3 away now from a 1-0 lead.
Yeah,
in the match.
On the other side, Tita, I said, "You ready to play?" And she lit up. Like, you can tell in her heart of hearts, she would love to get on the court right now, down 20-22. And you know what? If I had my money, I'd bet on Tita Ohuna.
Buff and Blue out of timeouts here. Warriors hitting 265. They have a +2 advantage in the dig, 17-15. Buff and Blue has a 2-0 lead in the ace category. But Buff and Blue have 8 more, or rather 8-4 the service error, so 4 more than the Warriors here so far. Emma Lilo. Moriwaki near the net. Benny. Punahou. Woo! That ball had some smoke on it.
I mean, we talked about the bounciness of the floor. That was a little extra bounce.
Absolutely destroyed this through the seam. 21-20. Uluave. Diving, overpass. Marumoto got a brush on it. Lilo a bump. Who's going to get it? Arquette to the front. Marumoto backtracks, wants it, has it, swings it. Got blocked. Kept alive by Benny and Tevez. And then finally they scramble with Chalk to bump it for Lilo to the front row. Tevez a bump set. Marumoto. Picked up there by Lum. Lilo gets it to Arquette. Rolled at it. Tevez digs it. Benny a bump set. Marumoto has to find it in the lights. Free chance back row. Goldstein. Lilo. Chalk. (23-21). 3 kills for Chalk.
Kelly Shigemasa going to set. We have not seen this throughout the state tournament.
Here she is to get it out to Marumoto. Flying tip. There's Watson. Arquette. Good pickup by Uluave. Who's going to get it? It'll be Shigemasa. Marumoto called everyone off to free ball and across. Watson. Lilo. Kapie.
Hit of the match. Straight up, straight down, and run all around.
Set point. Watson really good behind the stripe this season. Just couldn't get it over the cable. And now here comes Brown. Fatamali'i Brown. Got to go on a 2-point serving streak here. Arquette underhanded across. Flipped over by Benny. Overpass, watch out. Tipped over by Kapihe. Uluave. Marumoto. Blasted that one. Timeout Warriors.
Both sides came to play. Marumoto, remember, last night, 4 kills, 4 errors early in first set, and then just went on a roll. And if she gets going there, she's got a similar start here tonight. That's going to be really a big difference maker for this Punahou team. Brown is going back to serve, right? And you think about Brown. She's young as well. Not a freshman, but a junior in her first real extensive playing time. So much pressure on her to serve, and yet throughout this state tournament, she has been up to the challenge.
So often we talk about experience and how they can help players move forward in their careers. We've seen it time and time again with these 2 programs, obviously, and sometimes progress means, you know, regress, if you will, and not getting what you want and what you feel like you deserve. And it knocks you down a couple of pegs, right? But it restarts the computer and the mindset of these players, both sides too, right? I mean,
yep.
For Punahou and for Tita Ohuna, she said, you know, losing that quarterfinal matchup, gave all the credit to Kamehameha Hawaii, and said that we had to look back within ourselves, work harder, teach our kids how to win, push them throughout the preseason, through the ILH regular season. There was a team that still beat Kamehameha earlier in the year in 5 sets the first time they played, and now here they are just showing some of that grit.
Going to need it right here. And this is an interesting rotation for Kamehameha. The last couple of times they've had Arquette hit the middle. Now what's tough about that is they've got to pass in order to go to her. Right? They want to go to her. So I wonder if they keep her in the middle here, or do they put Kamehameha into the middle and send Arquette out to the right side?
Arquette's taken 12 of the 40 Kamehameha swings. Uluwave's taken 15, Marimoto's taken 13, so that's 28 of the 46 buff and blue swings.
Arquette outside.
Got it! Set one to the Warriors. A fight to the very last point, as close as you can get to the brink. This sets the stage for something special here. 1-0 Kamehameha. Well, Punahou came up short in that first set, but the blocking was alive, and Rela Bini coming alive. 14 assists early on, doing from the stripe and feeding the middles with the freshman Evelyn Kilisi. Kilohalani Cox found some bright spots. 6 kills for Uluwave, but it just wasn't enough. It was just too much. Adrian Arquette, Kev, in set one.
Yeah, she was nearly unstoppable from the middle, doing it from the blocking position, hitting cross court, hitting line for the set win. Too much. Adrian Arquette.
The Jack in the Box. Set one stats, the hitting errors, a significant difference in addition to the kill percentage here between these two.
Yeah, I mean, doubling up the kill percentage for Kapalama, but still, take a look how close it was. And a big part of that, the 2 service aces for Punahou. I said they needed 3. Might have been close with one more.
Little Wongstradamus, all right. I gotcha. You're predicting that.
Lucky guess. What do they say about a blind squirrel, right? In the Cannon Center.
Yeah. Set 2 underway. Bini will go to Marimoto. Kind of a similar start. Marimoto got a lot of healthy swings through the first 5 touches for the buff and blue. That conversely, during that same period, Adrian Arquette went perfect 5 for 5 on her first swings.
Wow.
Dropped off the table.
There's nothing you can do. And I think if I'm Punahou here, I think I mix in some back row sets to Uluwave just to kind of even out the responsibility and the pressure in these early rotations.
Following to the back line, it's out.
I mean, both teams playing lights out defense. Reese Tevis learning well from Dane and Sherry over the years. On the other side, Ashley Lum. There's not a player on the Kamehameha team who doesn't play lights out defense, right? Like they're blocking their defense.
Always so bruised after every match, it seems.
Yeah.
Lilo. Oh my goodness, off the shoulder there of Brown. Lilo, the chop. There's Uluwave, net called. Punahou.
Some high heat. Ooh. That's a pretty good dig. Gotta flex the shoulder and pop it back in, right?
Nothing phased her there. Bini tipped around. Skilisi sliding Lum. Kapihe. Front row for Marimoto. Right back to her. Into the block, Marimoto, then Uluwave. Here's Marimoto. Watson, Lilo, and Arquette. A little early, a little out in front of her. 4 contacts.
Really interested to see what Kamehameha does in the second set. We've seen them win and then take their foot off the gas a little bit. You would think in the state tournament that wouldn't necessarily be what they do, but I'm interested.
Arquette backhanded up there by Marimoto. Cox got blocked, but Marimoto's there. Another try for Cox. She's blocked again. There's Bini. How about a third try? She's blocked again. A hat trick of blocks.
You know, I was just talking about how great their defensive team is. Historically, that's what Kamehameha does. What they don't do historically is block at the clip they've been doing this year. This might be the best blocking Kamehameha team of all time.
It's Goldstein, it's Chun, it's Kamehameha, it's Arquette, and that's in the net. Moriwaki back in, serving specialist, steady passer. Chris Blake changing up the visor here tonight, honoring Maui. Here's Moriwaki. In the middle. Chun, what a pancake dig there from Uluave. Watson. I have another one for Chun. Same thing, and it just gets down.
Sometimes that shot is better when it's dug than when it goes down, right? Like, this is the one that just everyone on the Punahou team's hitting the floor and banging an elbow, banging a hip, crushing a knee.
How good has Chun been in the month of October and November? A couple kills now here tonight.
They're having like a little team meeting, right? Like a little session.
You good? You good? You good? I'm good. You good?
The empathy in the eyes and the connection.
And think about Chun too, when you get to see, I mean, that's a good point that you made, because the last 2 nights that we saw her in the quarters and the semis, you get to see that leadership kind of exude, because she's a junior, right? Coming back next year.
All right.
And you really get to see, okay, kind of the changing of the guard and where this team could be directed from a player perspective. That's it, 13 and 15. Goldstein in the back. Arquette. Binney goes down to chase it, and Cox goes off of Lilo in the front and then gets called for a handling violation on a double contact.
That was a really hard swing, really tough spot for Cox, and took a really nice look. Tuli Tavanga, we talked about, this is an area that she knows really well, right? I've seen her talking to all the outside hitters. She spent some time with Hamea Maramoto, with Uluave during the timeouts.
Off the cable, down. That's a department where Punahou has been great at, and that's been the point of focus in the 2 weeks leading into the tournament, according to Tito Huna. Aggressive serving, and they get it with Tevez. First ace tonight. Got it back to Goldstein. Lilo. Arquette rattled the cable. Met there by Binney. Tevez softly bumps it. Here comes Cox, who hit that one out.
It's got to be one of the toughest swings. Out of system on the right side when the ball's coming from off the court, over your shoulder.
Now this is the highest ceiling of the year for each of these two.
This is amazing, right? I can't wait to get a ball up there.
Binney. Trouble. Uluave, yeah. Traced it. And Cox, 2 hands it across. Arquette. Lilo transitions right there to Chalk off the block. Kept alive though there by Lum. Chase down. This goes out.
Yeah, that's the same swing that Cox had to take earlier. Uluave did a really good job. Tight set earlier in that rally. Just recycled it into the block. Set up the cover on her side. I'll tell you, Kamehameha is not playing as well as they did in the first set. This is an opportunity for Punahou. I feel like they need to get a little cushion before the red zone, though. Don't you feel that way?
For sure, right? And I cushion, but a Punahou cushion against Kamehameha made like 5. Chun, got it.
I knew you were high maintenance. That's a big cushion. I'm thinking like a 2 or 3 point cushion.
Okay. Sticking with 5. We'll put it this way. I mean, there have been leads blown of as many as 6 here in the series. As Lilo transitions, Kamehameha touches at it. There goes Shigemasa. Here comes Uluave. She's blocked. What a dive and a cover from Shigemasa. That was a thing of beauty. Went around it, popped up Arquette, and it's Brown. Shigemasa, the hero.
2 highlight reel digs there, right? Shigemasa with one. Just signed on her way to play at Portland State. Arquette had one as well. Look at that. When you know your team's got your back covering you like that, it just gives you so much more freedom to take swings.
Dump there for Lilo.
I think the refs might have missed a little net on the follow-through, and Tito Huna walking over as well.
Yeah, that net shook pretty visibly. 8-7 here. Kamehameha took set 1, 25-23. Near the net, Benny battles out Marumoto into the solo block of Tia Kapihe.
This is another interesting twist. Indigo Clark coming back onto the court for Haumea Marumoto. Signed on to go to Stanford to play beach volleyball. She's been out with some injuries over the last 3 weeks.
This one goes out.
Tito Huna has not been afraid to make moves here tonight. I like it, right? Being aggressive.
Right. We're shuffling players around. Shigemasa coming in the set. Here comes Brown. Two-point advantage. Kamehameha gets to 10. At the days of when Punahou won that championship in 14. McKenna Granado, 23 kills in that one. How about Kiani Tuilera? She had 48 assists in 15 days. And that 4-set win in the Blaisdell. Uluave.
That's the one. I love that. I gotta do that more. I think this match is Lulu Uluave's time to shine.
Oh, from that angle, that's wicked. Benny pops it. That's an ace. That's 4 aces tonight for Punahou. Goldstein knew she got it and gave her coach some dap. And an emphatic high five, just like, hey, get back in it, kid. Goldstein handles it better. Here's Goldstein. Benny. Cox. There goes Tevez to block it. Benny flung it out there for a swing for Indigo Clark into the game. And that one rolled and down.
You know, it's always interesting to see how an athlete's going to respond to a mistake, right? And Goldstein came in, passed a perfect pass, hits a perfect shot. That's the grit, that's the toughness, right? It's not the flash. Championships are not won by flash, they're won by grit. And then you do the gritty.
Oh, is that what it is? In that order, huh? Takafuji on the serve. Hooked over there by Kelisi. How about the hook shot kill? (11-11). Kamehameha led by 2. This is their 5th tie here in the frame. And our first court wipage, or second one here of the set. Long season, huh? Just, yeah, right, like it did feel like 2 individual seasons.
Yeah, I feel like they're always tweaking the system. Like, isn't there a time where they say, like, you know what? We got it. This is the best system. No.
Okay, look, we looked at the data. Look, now this is the one. 11-11. Arquette. Rattle the cable. Benny, good job to dig it. Tevez to bump it. Oh, Cox picked up there by Lum. Goldstein cross court. There goes Tevez. Benny, Uluave into the double block. Tevez there. Benny says, get out of my way. I got to feed Lulu. It's out.
This is such high level, right? Saw one national rankings had Kamehameha into the top 25 or so. Punahou's neck and neck there, right?
Arquette tickles the cable. 12-12.
Okay, Arquette's in the back row. This is the time, right? Get the aces going. They've had 2 aces here in the second set.
Bump to Goldstein. Popped up there by Benny. Tevez. Here comes Uluave. Takes it over right to Goldstein. In the middle. Chun tries to fly. Good cover there from Cox. Here comes Uluave. Yes! Punahou, 13. Maybe this will juice up Buff Nation. Trying to square the match at 1. Punahou a 1-point lead. Farrington takes on Damien in the first round of the First Hawaiian Bank Division I State Football Championships. We're in Hawaii Kai tomorrow at Kaiser Stadium. Game day Hawaii delivered by pizza that gets you going at 6:45 p.m. Today was the official start of the State Football Championships. Kamehameha Hawaii has a 14-13 lead over Roosevelt. Congratulations, Pac-5. They defeated Kaimuki, a very big and tough Kaimuki team. 32-7. Wolfpack advanced to the state semis. Here comes Arquette. That's out. So now that cushion's starting to be built a little bit here.
The question is it a Kevin-sized cushion or a Felipe triple whopper cushion?
Can they stay consistent with that? Goldstein. Big up there for Moriwaki. Uluave. Yes.
Her hitting's just so violent. I'll tell you, that set out of Benny's hands, it was about as high and spinny as can be, and it came out just clean as a whisper.
9 here for Uluave. Oh, missed time there with Chun. Chris Blake stamps up, he takes time. 4-point advantage now here for Punahou. Punahou, although they're hitting 042, they lead in the most important statistical category here tonight, the score. To the big board we go. All right, coming up, Division I Open semifinals, Campbell, Mililani, Kahuku, Punahou. We got football the rest of the way after tonight. Pay-per-view Division I Open Championship in Manoa. We'll give you all the pay-per-view details a little bit later on as we get closer to Championship Black Friday for the Division I Open crown. 4-point advantage for the Buff and Blue. Arquette from the back row has that one dug up. Benny goes to Uluave in the front row. Off the touch, there's Goldstein. Here's Goldstein. Jamming one through. That one picked up there by Moriwaki. Uluave, another big swing! A fireball!
Just so confident. So fiery. Just timing, peak performance when it's really needed. And the crazy thing about that, that's a Chris Blakeism, right? Like, be at your best when your best is needed.
The Viserys era takes it down to 4. Coming out with Goldstein here, 2 kills, 3 digs. Brown dug up there by Arquette. Chalk is blocked. Chalk through the block.
And a little lingering stare through the net. Lori Santi sent us a little note, right? She liked the feistiness too. Everyone's so nice these days.
Yeah, show some of that competitive spirit.
The championship's not going to go to the nicest team, right? Like, you got to have some spunk. You got to have some confrontation. Caligo Joe Shigemasa may be the best server on this Punahou team. They really need her right now to dial up a couple of aces, get that cushion going.
Right on cue. Timeout, Kamehameha.
Championships are not given to teams. You've got to go earn it, right? Like, you've got to be willing to risk it, to serve tough, to get the aces, and along with that, you're going to miss some serves as well. Don't look right now, though, Felipe, but Punahou's hit that 3-ace level here in the second set.
And for the second time, they've hit that 5-point cushion. Led 17-12, then 19-14. Will it be enough here for Punahou? Right, just a school that, you know, they had them as the best high school sports program in the country, right, a couple of times, right? Or Sports Illustrated, that was about a decade ago. Since then, you had the emergence of IMG Academy and whatnot. But Punahou's standard of excellence has been so consistent throughout. Of course, you know, they're almost autumn shoo-ins, right, for tennis and golf championships. Basketball, there's always in the mix. There is never a sport where Punahou's not in that conversation. And it's just a credit to, you know, the direction of that program and including Tito Huna, and look where they are right now.
Well, part of that is Rick Toon, right? And I saw him before the match. I walked past him. I said, like, you and Chris Blake got to coach against each other somewhere, somehow, right? Like, like you think about the all-time winning male coach, Rick Toon, the all-time winning female side in Chris Blake. He's like, well, I'm not going to the girls' side, so Chris is going to have to come and coach some boys.
And one of the longest streaks between state titles within Punahou is girls volleyball, right? It's been 9 years, as we mentioned. Basketball's been in there. Both volleyball won 10 in a row.
Right. That's a good point.
Football won one as recent as 2013. 5-point advantage, Shigemasa to the back row. Lilo outside, shot, blocked, and out. And Shock was just like, nope.
A spin, a stare, and a wag. I'm trying to remember if Tony Nishida, her mom, did that in the University of Hawaii days. Probably did.
She didn't have a spin or a wag, she had the swag. Benny on a rundown. Uluave off the cable, picked up by Arquette. Shock. Hard angle, Uluave. Oh, how about Benny? Then one time's up there. Chalk fought off there initially by Emma Lilo. Uluave over the block. There goes Chalk. Here's Arquette. Near the net, Benny gonna have a battle. And nearly put down. Fought off there by Lilo. Right to Shigemasa. Benny goes to Uluave. Picked up there by Arquette. Lilo will feed to Chalk. 7 for her.
That was a rally and a half, right? Both teams playing high-level defense, and then just this high seam. She hits a lot of her kills down the line, high seam, lots of touches.
Uluave. Wow, Arquette, one-handed save. Fading away, Chalk. Lined it over, free chance. Middle, Brown underhands it and scores it. Just got past Lilo and Arquette. What a job there from Brown.
And I was thinking to myself over the last couple of points, is Tito Huna going to bring back in Hameha Maramoto? Is she going to bring back in Indigo Clark? And she goes with Clark here. And this is the rotation now. Uluave's in the back row. Clark's going to have to take some swings on the left side, right? Late, a couple more rotations from here. They can put Cox on the left. They can move Indigo to the right side. But this is the one. This is the rotation. They're going to need her to swing.
Indigo Clark, number 6 here for Punahou in the front row. Stanford bound for beach volleyball. Uluave. Lilo, middle, wiped that Kopihe. Benny picked it up for a swing for Clark. Right on cue.
And they got their 5-point cushion. You know, you got a tired shoulder. It's been a long season. You take a little time off. Leave it all on the court right now, right?
Yeah, we didn't see her at all in the semifinal round yesterday.
I don't think we saw her in the quarterfinals either.
I think so.
They shut her down for a while. And in a lot of ways, they also did that with Uluave. Playing the long game, right? Sometimes you take the couple of steps backwards in the early part. Indigo Clark time. Wow.
Long serve.
Dodging a bullet. I would also, if I'm Rela Benny, I'm also thinking to myself, hey, get out of jail free card when I'm in trouble. I got Uluave in the back row.
Warriors out of timeouts too. Here's Brown. Arquette recycled right back there to Chalk. Chased down by Lilo, hit over by Arquette. Right there to Shigemasa. Binney tied at the net to Clark. Over the net and Kapihe puts it home.
Goes from 5 to 4. The tiptoes start coming in. A dangerous time for Punahou right here.
In the middle, Kilisi, net called, Kamehameha. It's on Goldstein.
Think about it, even with the cushion, a missed serve helps him out, a net call misses him out on a hit.
Look at this on the press. Yep, got the top of the cable to go. Good call here from Kuipo Riso. It's back to 5 and 2 points away from squaring the match. Goldstein in the middle. Arquette is blocked! What a denial! That's a freshman! Kilisi!
She's a freshman.
Woo! For the set, Binney. Gives the point right back. So they built the cushion for the final push. And now here, Crystal Takafuji. We were seeing all in the first 2 rounds.
We're watching Chess Masters.
Clark! Indigo Clark. Crunch time. Pulls up big. 2 kills in the set. Most important one so far for Punahou. The best of 5 is now best of 3 for the Division I state title. Punahou persistent here in set number 2. Thanks to the likes of Indigo Clark in big moments. Uluwatu took a lot of healthy swings. 30 swings on the night, or the third of the total swings Punahou has this evening. 10 kills to go along with those 30 swings and 7 digs as well.
And it created this feedback loop, right? Because she gets a kill, her crowd goes fiery, builds more confidence on the team. They get together, they stomp around. I think that really was the key to that second set. I mean, look at the numbers. Offensively, both teams not doing great, right? It was a defensive battle. Punahou a few more digs, and we talked about that all night long. Give me 3 aces for Punahou, you're going to win the set. On the other side for Kapalama, only 2 blocks, right? This is a team that usually is getting up there in the 3s and the 4s. They were really stifled there, and their offense got a little anemic.
For Lulu Uluwatu, those 10 kills. The thing I love about Lulu Uluwatu too, right? So on the floor, right, you have... Well, stay with me here.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
Right, so you got all these planets, right? And each of them kind of in their own galaxies. But when Lulu gets in there, right, that gravitational pull, now everyone's in her orbit and they're feeding off of that, right? And you saw it there with Clark, with Shigemasa in big moments. As Binney blocks Arquette. Whoa! What a rejection. Lilo, Kapihe hooking one, diving Tevez. Kapihe, we get her 4th kill, hitting .231 tonight. Watson's back in to serve.
And this is the time, right? Indigo Clark out on the left side. Took a really good swing on the right. Left side's not her preferred choice.
The push across to Clark. Lilo works it to Arquette. Binney intercepts it. Clark double block. Right there. That might be the biggest block in the state. Kapihe going up with Arquette.
Yeah, keeps on throwing new people at that block and there's just no getting around them. Look at it, they're posted, they're up and down, there's no seams, way over the net.
Brown swipes at it, Watson vacuums it in. Here's Goldstein. Yes.
And you can really see now Punahou camping out on Arquette in the middle, and this is a good job by Emma Lilo. She understands it, she sees it, pushes it to the outside, starting to get some seams to the outside and the right side.
Chase down, wow, Benny, holy smokes, what a job. Just kept the rally going. Can they take advantage? Yes, they can. It's Arquette. It's her 9th.
How do you respond, right? How do you respond when you win a set? How do you respond when you lose a set?
Watson flung it out to Clark. Down
D-ball.
the middle. Wow, right
D-ball.
there to Uluwame.
A D-ball, Felipe. We've been seeing that from Arquette all year long. We have not seen that once from Uluwame. You know, there's a theory of thought where you go to a championship game and you go what's worked with all year long. Punahou is not following that at all. They are making it up on the fly.
Arquette, speaking of fly,
Super fly.
elevates and scores again. For Arquette, she's the first warrior to enter double figures. 10 kills, getting 185. She had 10 digs already. It's a double-double here through the first 2 sets and 7 points. Here's Crystal Takafuji. Off of Cox there. Here comes Clark. Around the block, Watson vacuumed it in. Lilo will feed it to Goldstein. Off a touch, Clark, Benny. It stayed too long in her hands. Yep, point here for Kamehameha. Lift.
Wow, Felipe, you're getting good.
Well, like she threw that down and dumped it.
It's a change of direction, right? So she went up with it and then turned it to the left. It's a fine line, right? You're becoming like a doctor of volleyball.
Oh my God, please never say that again.
Felipe Ohastro, MD, VB.
Is that what it is? We can throw an OC16 in there. Appreciate it. Just for
OC16. That's a long title, you guys.
marketing purposes. Lilo middle. Big block out in front. Khaleesi on Judd. Arquette hit the net. And it went down on that side anyway.
I mean, take a look at that, right? The sophomore Cox, the freshman Khaleesi. Khaleesi's a new person after she got that one block against Arquette. All of a sudden, she's like, I'm here to play.
Arquette blocked there by Cox. Benny blocked her. Cox blocked her. And that's 2 big ones there here in this frame.
And it's been these late, last-minute moves into the seam, into the angle. Benny did that on the right side, Cox on the left.
Arquette, and there was Cox, just floated that one along, hit across. Lilo goes to Arquette, the push for the back line, what a play.
Just the level of gamesmanship, right? Going with plan B. And plan B looks like this. She shows the early short tip, the defense collapses, and then she throws it with the shot put to the deep corner.
Here's Arquette. Benny to the right side, there's Clark turning it on. How about the evolution of Indigo Clark over the course of the last 11 weeks, huh?
Yeah, I mean, she just showed up right on the doorstep, said like, hey, I know I haven't played for the last 3 years, but here I am. And Tito Huna said, thank God you're here.
And we saw her thrive in the matches against Iolani, early on against Kamehameha, first half of this season. Now here in the state final. Lilo's denied by Uluwame.
Kamehameha looks rattled. Right, they looked rattled. They were so confident in the first set. In the second set, Punahou just, what do they say? Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, right?
Right.
There's this, like, I'm interested to see how Kamehameha responds here in the third.
Warrior Nation trying to will their team back in it. Overpass. The net kind of rattled. It might have hit the ball first there after the swing from Cox. Goldstein shot it across. Here comes Uluwave. Goldstein popped it up and over and out.
Uluwave picked her team up, right? Picked her team up, threw it on her shoulder, and walked through. Now, for Kamehameha Kapalama, who's going to be that person?
And this is a lineup without Maramoto, by the way.
Yeah.
Been pretty comfortable in this recent stretch. Arquette, the push. Reeled in there by Moriwaki. Here comes Uluwave. Around the block, there goes Arquette. Goldstein. Out. On the move, on the run. Into a 2-point lead. Chris Blake trying to keep the energy up. Moriwaki, Watson, Lilo, Arquette, front row. Uluwave, off the block, fought off by Watson. Lum calls everyone off to feed Goldstein. Off the block of Kelisi. Lilo will go back to Goldstein. That one picked up by Binney. Chavez goes right there to Cox. Kept alive, Lum. Uluwave sealed the deal. Timeout Warriors. This is looking like the Division II championship a little bit. Punahou riding a wave of momentum. (10-7), Punahou leads here in set 3. Kamehameha won set 1, 25-23. Buff and Blue answered back, 25-19. Punahou going for a 10th title. 6 of their previous 9 have come at the expense of knocking off Kamehameha. Warriors going for the 24th. Pretty good run here for the Buff and Blue. Moriwaki puts it back in. Goldstein goes off the block and out. Cox is hoping to turn the hands to get it back inward.
And that's what Kamehameha needs, right? They need something. Look at Chris Blake getting excited, getting a little amped from the sideline. They need a chalk to go off. They need a Goldstein to go off. They need someone to help.
Goldstein. Chavez. Binney. Uluwave. Arquette. Lilo. Shot. Moriwaki. Point here as Chun goes down. Binney went up and Chun.
And earlier in that play, Emma Lilo actually took a hit from Uluwave as well. 2 in 1 play.
Right there's Binney at the net, and on the left side you see Chun. How does she land? Ooh, right there.
Yeah, you can see Binney like a full foot under the net on the other side. Really dangerous play.
Right leg. Roll the ankle right there. Ooh. I'm telling the athletic trainers right now, I'm good, I'm good. Sydney Casimero will come in. And it's tough here for Lohalani Chun, who has been stellar. Now the emotions are at a rush right now, right? State final and the frustration.
Right, and they were already flustered, right? And now you get something like this that happens. The wheels have fallen off. That's the honest truth, right? And you got Chris Blake, who's got to put them back together again.
And that just shows the amount of emotional investment that this team has put into this program, including Chun. And being tended to by the ATs right now. We'll hopefully get an update at some point. So mark it down at the 10-9 mark here. Chun out, Casimero in. Here's Goldstein. The pass from Moriwaki gets right to Tevez. Big blast from Cox, just at the net. Uluwave rat-a-tats around on the third contact. It's Goldstein!
I have never seen Chris Blake this animated.
Same. Never.
Right? Like, he took last year really hard. I was really surprised. He was blaming himself for last year, right? He's like, the girls gave their all. It was on me. Here he is cheering his team on because This is a bleak time, right? It's 10-10, but it seems different than that.
Can they get a side out point? Yes, they can. Khaleesi. I think 444 here tonight. Just one hitting error and 5 kills.
And had a pretty quiet semis, but remember the quarterfinals where she had 9 kills, hit for a high percentage.
Chalk is off the block and out. The second one there to Kealohalani Cox. Trying to hype herself up.
Chalk, 8 kills, hitting 389. I think got to go more to her too, right? Get her going, especially when she's in the front row feeling confident.
At the net, Benny near the tower. A runner there for Cox to push it across. Lilo reverses cycle there for Chalk through the block, Moriwaki. Benny to Uluave. She's blocked. Lilo was there, Kapihe was there.
And that's the other side of the equation. Can Lulu Uluave continue to play at the high level she has so far for 2.5 sets? That was an amazing block.
Just out of the reach there of Kealohalani Cox. Uluave out.
We talked about it, right? There's going to be some adversity. There's going to be some twists and turns. Some story arcs.
The road.
Buckle up. We're only in the 3rd set.
Exactly. Benny flung it out. Cox. Yes. Hit the... Well, see, the line person called antenna first.
Oh, wow.
But Randy Rumino said it went off the block and then the antenna. So now they have to figure out.
And Chris Blake's got his hand up. Tito Huna's walking over going, shaking her head. What'd you see, Felipe?
It was hard angle. Right. I thought it was a block and then a point for Punahou. He'll stay that side.
That's what I thought, too.
Chris Blake raises his hands. It says it went off the block and then it hit in the bottom of the antenna, yeah.
And I tell you, for some of these Lions people, they've been working for 6 hours, right?
Yeah, true.
I think it's golden pay soon.
And longer because they're in for the constellation matches. Right. And the first match was at 11. It's an ace. $13 up.
Callie Jo Shigemasa serving up aces.
At 13-13 as they wipe up the floor. Let's check in with Jimmy here for a second because Jimmy is monitoring Alohalani Chun. And remember, she rolled her ankle earlier here in the frame, Jimmy?
Yeah, so they have taped up her right ankle. You can see she's got the shoe back on. She's running around testing the ankle right now. But I'm telling you, it was bothering her enough during all that. She was not celebrating at all when her team was scoring points. She was in pain, guys.
All right, Jimmy, thanks so much. They're going to get the full clearance before they're going to put her back in, make sure to keep her safety in mind. Here comes Chalk off the block of Benny and out.
I don't think I can just repeat what she said. But it was very emphatic.
That's a 10th grader. Benny. Oh, how about Brown diving on the floor there was Lilo. Free chance again. Chance to equalize, too, with Uluave. Yep, got it. Uluave, 13 kills.
You know, so many times we talk about volleyball, non-contact sport, stay on your own side. This match tonight feels different. It feels like there's energy through the net. It feels like aggressive, more aggressive than normal. And I love it.
And it feels deeper into the match, but it's only 14-14 and now 15-14. That's where Punahou's gotten back into this. They are +6 in the ace department. 7-1. The thing that took them all the way to the tourney is taking them here to the title. Net called on Punahou. It's on Brown.
there's not going to be any cushions in this third set. And I'm not sure Punahou needs a cushion anymore.
Yeah, right. They needed the 5. They won it by 6 in the set number 2. Now they're hanging around late stages of a set as Watson has her second service error here tonight.
You know, there was a different tone in talking to Tita tonight, and a lot of that confidence came from two things: passing and serving.
And how many times have we heard that before, right? Not just from her, but from everybody else, right? It's just fundamentals. Topihe cross court, dug up by Uluave. Bini will feed it back to Uluave. Goldstein arced it over. There's Uluave.
Watch a tip.
Clark.
You got to know your players, right? And the shoulder's been bugging her towards the end of the season. She's got all the beat shots in the world.
How many times do we think we have the storyline entering a championship match, right? And then you realize, oh, 2 pages are stuck together here. Oh, what is this page? And then it's just like absolute zaniness, right? Clark gets in, right? Shigemasa starts to serve.
This one's a little screwy.
17-15. It goes out.
The margin is just so much narrower here tonight, right? And wow, they were going to put in Chun. But Chris Blake making the executive decision to keep in Fernandez. Casemiro.
Yeah, Sidney Casemiro comes in. Takafuji into serve, so the clearance appears to be good. They're talking to the athletic trainers one more time. And then
it's double clearance. You got to get approved by the trainers and then by Chris Blake.
Yeah. And then Kingston. This one's down. There's Khaleesi.
I feel like number 18 is transforming in our eyes, right? And you say you can't recreate this kind of atmosphere. In the same way, if you go through the gauntlet of pressure in a championship match and you get through to the other side, that changes you.
Buff and blue up 2 in a match that's tied at 1. Goldstein got off a touch. There goes Tevez. Bini. Cox off the double block, kept alive. Bini one-handed, gets caught for the handle.
Randy Rubinal has been doing a fabulous job.
Amen.
Right, like he's on it. Quick whistle, making the right decision.
We see the lift there from Bini. That one hit across there by Khaleesi. Lilo gets it to Goldstein, picked up there by Uluave. Cox, and it's kept alive! Lilo and then Arquette. Hit there by Clark, off the touch, picked up by Lilo. Here's Goldstein, off the high hands, fished in there by Cox. In the middle is Khaleesi, then Bini after hit the block. Uluave bumps to Clark. Tipped it down the line, picked up there by Watson. Here comes Arquette. Bini softly puts it up. Tevez, can they get a good swing with Cox? There goes Lum near the net. Lilo middle, hit over by Casemiro.
Strumming some beautiful music to the back corner.
Woo! 18-18.
These two teams are just so evenly matched, right? So different. Oh. Kamehameha's got to serve tougher, right? 1 ace, 10 errors. That's the storyline right there.
7-6 on the opposite side there for Punahou. Khaleesi. Some dragon power.
Making the kills look easy.
They're chanting, she's a freshman.
Not anymore.
Moriwaki, Watson, Lilo, Arquette.
That is the play. That is the person that Kamehameha has been waiting to step up and make a swing. Uluave did it in the second set. Kamehameha runs through number 17.
12 kills for Arquette, 10 for Chalk. Chalk's hitting, we're going 429 right now. Benny goes to Uluave. There goes Chalk. Chalk wants it. Chalk up another. She's a puppeteer. Timeout, Punahou. No strings attached. Chalk's really good, Hawaii. 11 for her, and a 1-point lead. It's a party. I've never heard more chihus in my entire life at one event than this one. For good reason. Set 3 best of 5 Division I championship. 20-19. Uluave, Benny, Uluave. Off the block. That one pounded way back. Casemiro.
Oh man, Chris Blake. Sticking with his guns, right? She gets a kill, she gets a block.
Up 2. Uluave off the block and out, so she gets her 14. She's the only player in double figures. We saw Hameha at the start of the match. She poured into, but this is a comfortable rotation the last 2 sets here for Tira Ohuna and this lineup. Cox has 7, Kelisi has 7. Where else is the offense going to come from? Tevez lasers one over. Bump here to Chuck through the block. Backhanded up there by Uluave. Here comes Cox to end it and got it in for a double contact.
Cushionless, right up. A cushionless Punahou now. Can they turn the tides in the red zone? You know it's a close match when the towel comes out as much as it has been tonight. Because this...
It's air conditioned.
This is air conditioned.
Yes.
I'm like cold. It's like 70-some degrees here.
Yeah.
There's no one sweating. There's no moisture on the floor. There's gamesmanship on the floor. And a gamer coming back on the floor as well in Hameha Marimoto.
He's on the right side for Punahou. Here comes the terrific Ashley Lum. Moriwaki chased down by Benny. Here comes Uluave. And still alive! Chalk got the saving rally hit. There goes Arquette. Gotta feed it out there to Chalk. Why not?
I don't know what I like better, the Chalk kill or the Chalk full of nuts celebration at the end.
Timeout. Buff and blue. Sterling Carvalho is in the house. He's in Section E. Watching this. Jillian Yamagata, athletic director for Kahuku, is in the house. Anything that happens within this building, they are a part of, right? Kingsley IU we see a lot. Brandon Akana we saw. This has become a great sight. And there you see Sterling Carvalho. No play Punahou for the Division I Open semifinals on Friday.
I'll tell you, we talk about fitness. Kaimana has been on fire here tonight. Making turns in the rubber slippers.
Love it.
It's hard to think in here, Felipe.
It's just noise, and they counter it with a
banner shuttle run.
Yeah. This is why high school sports is awesome. There's nothing like it.
Nothing. And I'll tell you, this is a special year because Felipe Ojastro's calling the high school girls championship match. Have you ever done this before?
2014 was the last time you and I worked. So that was my first time really in the chair that season, right? And of course, and the reason why, and I love volleyball. I get to work with you, obviously, but we always split up typically because we have first round football during that time. But the schedule didn't really work out, and yeah, I can enjoy with you and Jimmy. And Jimmy's first time.
Keep it up, kid. You're doing some good things.
Thanks, Dad. Benny in the middle. Brown was blocked. Moriwaki bumps at Uluave. Just snuck it in front. Wow, what a smart shot there.
The willpower of Lulu Uluave is maybe the most I've ever seen. She is utterly willing her team back into the match, back into competition, back into contention. So much respect for that. I think there's something to be said for like being one of the younger daughters in a family of athletes, right? Like you either get left way behind or you gotta fight your way in.
It's like a Tito Huna.
Right? Totally, right?
Like tackle football in Papakolea during your days. Lilo got it out, chalk into the net. Benny shaking her and said, no way. And what could have been 24-21 is 22 serving 23.
And now if I'm Emma Lilo, I think to myself, Tia Kapihe might be a good idea in the middle. I don't know, I think Yo Adriana on the back row, even though it's a D-ball.
Kapihe got it. Her fifth kill.
That was a big play. Shigemasa serving laser beams back there. Good pass, they get the set. I mean, this ball's got to go back out to Uluave, right? It's got to. And she's going against Kamehameha's biggest block in Kapihe and Arquette.
Emma Lilo set point. Overpass, chance to win it. Chalk, Lilo outside. Arquette wins set 3. The story arc of Adriana Arquette continues to shock and awe and amaze. The emotions all around from two of the premier programs in the state. Kamehameha leads 2-1 in the Division I final. Uluave got her kills, 15 for the 9, but everyone else, I mean, they've had troubles because of arguably the best blocking team in the state. Kamehameha has a 2-block advantage, 8-6 here in the match over Punahou, as the Warriors take set 3, 25-22, one set away from title 24, and these are the set 3 stats.
Kamehameha's offense doubling up over Punahou. Blocked pretty even in that play. The defensive pressure from Kamehameha off the charts, and Punahou, we talked about it. They got 2 aces. They need 3 aces to win a set, and they were 1 point away.
So now here comes a pivotal set 4, right? One way or another. Every point.
And the question is, can Lulu Uluave keep on doing it by herself, or does someone have to come in, right? On the Kamehameha side, it went from Arquette, passed it off to Chalk there a little bit. One person, so hard to do. How about the storyline of number 7 for Kamehameha? Casimiro, right?
That block really came at a pivot point in the set that shifted the momentum back to Kamehameha, and it didn't look back.
And she's staying back in here now, right? So she's back in again for this set.
And if you're just joining us, Alohalani Chun rolled her ankle in set 3, tended to by the trainers. Appears to be clear, was ready to come in. Chris Blake opted to kind of sit around. Let's try to roll with what has worked so far. Set 4 here. Benny fights at it. Arquette and Lilo. Shigemasa, Benny. Clark, double block. Tevez. Hit over by, oh man, how about Uluave? How hard is that shot? A flying tip to the back corner and nearly saved.
Lulu's got some power, right? We always talk about the just finding the back line. We always talk about the poi pounder. I think Lulu likes Ulu.
It's a good night to plan it. Brown able to put it over. Kamehameha goes out. How quick's the start, but more importantly, how fast will the finish be here for Punahou? Their largest lead in any part of this match is 6. They're up 2 right now. Here's Arquette. Good dive there from Brown. Olave tried to kick and save it, but hit the net first. If it hit the block, that kick would have been good, but it hit the net and it's 4 contacts.
I mean, she's just doing things. You talked about it on instinct, right? You don't plan that. You don't throw the foot out.
You weren't a kicker, were you?
I've kicked some balls in the volleyball court before.
Okay.
Not on the football field. I tried to stay away from the football field as much as possible, especially since I was 175 pounds soaking wet.
You turned out okay. Here's Watson. Pushed down by Khaleesi. 8 now for her.
Hitting 467. Evelyn Khaleesi's hitting the highest percentage of anyone out of the court, and she's a freshman. And she's got 3 blocks. 3 of the 6 Punahou blocks.
Goodness. Goldstein. Lilo. Kamehameha. Tevez. Binney. Clark. Scored it.
So impressed by both teams' abilities to bounce back from losses. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, flip-flop in the first 3 sets. Binney puts one right to Goldstein, who gets her feet square, gets a good approach, and gets a good swing. 6 for her. Almost a quiet 6 here for Goldstein as well.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at Arquette. Her hitting percentage is down a little bit because you can see Punahou's really committing to her, but you got 15 digs, you got 4 blocks. You know, it's just all the different ways that she can help your team.
Fuji puts it back in play. Here's Clark, a running start. Off the block of Goldstein. Got a crepe dig from Watson. Goldstein got a good swing. Kept alive there. And that one's out by Cox.
This is the dig of the match. Kalei Watson was on the outside looking in. She was on the bench at the beginning of the season. And here she is, championship match, making a super play.
Clark. Handled well there by Lilo. But Watson to set it to Arquette. Off instincts, it's Brown. Olave nearly got it over the top. What effort. Laid out for this one. And it missed it by about half a volleyball to get over the top.
I mean, take a look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the dive and the slide. Wears her heart on her sleeve. Great player to have on your team, great player to have on your broadcast, right? Just brings so much energy.
4-4. 21st meeting in the HHSAA final between these two.
And this is the first valid floor wiping, I think, of the night. Did you see how she was sliding? There was some slickness there.
Yes. Got 2 towels out now. Chance for everyone to kind of catch their breath. And we've seen some weird things happen in a championship match like this. In fact, in '93, when Punahou beat Kamehameha, Punahou won the title because Kamehameha called a timeout, which they did not have. And it ended up as a point for Punahou, and they won the title. Wow. 30 years ago, 30 years later, we're being treated to these two.
Was that the Randy Nako coaching for Punahou year?
Kamehameha's coach was Dan Kitashima. He asked for a timeout, didn't have enough, gave Punahou the final point.
Wow.
And Debbie Lambert played in that one. 18 kills in that one.
You know, if you're a young wannabe broadcaster watching this show, like, it's the details, it's the work, right? It's the grind. Everyone thinks that Felipe Ojasro just rolls out here and has writers. No, honestly, honest truth,
yeah.
right? Like, it's a lot of work.
Been a long week for us too, buddy. Outside, there goes Goldstein. That one picked up. Uluave sliding dig there, beautifully done by Lum. Here comes Arquette, that flying tip. Arquette, 15 for her, hitting 211 to go along with 15 digs. Double-double here tonight.
And remember, like, if you were to ask Chris Blake, one of the top 3 things of why his teams win, it's because they outwork, they out-hustle, they're in better shape at the end of the year in these big, meaningful matches. And pay attention, right? Like, this is the point where people start getting tired, and this is the point where you start seeing a separation between those who've put in the work and those who haven't.
I can't even imagine just being mentally focused in a match like this, let alone doing the physical job these stellar athletes have showcased tonight. Into the block after the hit from Cox. Uluave threw that block, Watson picked it up. Off that block by Goldstein. After her swing, been able to feed Uluave. Late block went up, and this ball sailed long. Lilo, she slipped a little bit. Appears to be okay for Kamehameha. 7-5. Point given right back. Here comes Reese Teves. Goldstein is blocked initially. It's over and saved here by Lum. They thought it went behind the antenna. This ball is out. Tino, who is arguing that when Watson hit it first and then Lum hit it second, it went behind the antenna. That should have been out. It was ruled it was not out. Here it is again. Oh, great effort. Obviously tough to tell. It ends up being a point.
Marimoto back in the game on the right side.
Gonna try and find some offense. Marimoto just 2 kills here tonight. Oh, the flick over the top. Casemiro got handcuffed, and now a point for the Punahou. Double contact. And Chris Blake now stating his case.
And what they're saying is it's a block, but they've gotten very tight on the blocking rules where you actually have to be above the plane of the net now. Used to be as long as you were in a blocking motion.
Oh, that was an easy argument. Here's one more time. How high does she go? Oh, that's right on the line of that.
Yeah, I like to let the kids play, right?
Yeah.
But there's this thing called rules, right?
I love a cool.
It's finding the balance between those 2 theories.
I love a cool Ibo Riso and Rumo done here tonight. It's not easy. Casemiro. And she gets the biggest ovation from Warrior Nation.
I feel like there's been a lot of these matches in Kamehameha history where there's someone who's come off the bench. Lauren Condon one year, Maui Robbins another year, where they just come in and save the day. Maluhia Ma'a another year.
Not all heroes wear capes. Uluave. Looking around, there goes Chalk. How about Kalat Chalk hitting 423? Ain't nobody stopping her. Chaka Khan. Right there.
Chaka Khan.
Through the fire. Uluwave into the block. There's Binney. Uluwave again. Chalk wants it. Tipped it with the left. Recycle right back to her. Lilo to Arquette. Outside. There's a tense 7 on the scoreboard here in-house. Now it shows 8. Still plenty of room here, but at some point you got to make a sprint if you're Punahou to try and send this to a 5th.
Indigo Clark, what do you got?
Here she is.
The baton, right? You pass the baton, and now you got to see what Indigo Clark has.
Nine to 10. Chalk is denied emphatically. Binney and Brown.
Binney's got some blocks here tonight. 1 solo, 2 assists, just doing a really good job of posting up on the line.
Here the net, stashed away by Lilo.
That was a save by Emma Lilo. Pass going over the net. She beats Punahou to the punch and punches it down.
(11-10). Sliced across. Binney tight at the net and saved by Tellez, and it's ruled over for a free chance. Oh my goodness! I feel for you.
Woo. That's a lot of power. I wouldn't want to be playing defense down that line.
Uluwave gives him a free chance again. Up 2, middle. Oh! Kamehameha couldn't put it down after a great dig. Hanging there, still picking it up is Tevez. Clark answers. Tell you what, Reese Tevez, sensational again.
She really has been.
Chalk off the block and out. They get to 13. Very emotional matchup that we're seeing here tonight.
What a match, right? What a battle. Long season. A lot of twists and turns. You know, I was thinking about how hard it is to come in on the court after there's been a little break and you haven't been out there. You've been on the side. And then I started thinking about, like, Indigo Clark, it's not this that she hasn't played tonight. It's been that she hasn't played in like 3 weeks.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Right? And like, here she is coming out in the biggest pressure situation.
You know, this tournament goes back to 1969 when Kamehameha won the first state championship. So, Kev, here's our favorite segment. Let's go back in the day, to 1969. Sugar, Sugar, Buddy Art. Geez, they were the #1 song. Rowan Martin's Laughing. It's kind of like Saturday Night Live.
Never heard of that.
Okay. And variety show. Jennifer Lopez and Paul Rudd, they were born that year.
Heard of that.
Alawana turned 10 years old during that year. And how about the Society of Seven, a legendary local entertainment group? They debuted over in Waikiki, 1969, the first ever HHSAA title. Wow. And championship match.
Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore.
Warriors came to cheer too, by the way. These dedicated fans here on an observed Veterans Day.
There was one point in the match early on where we both took our headphones off because we were like, is it really as loud as it is in our earphones? Like, we want to hear it live, and it was.
It was during the intros, those
Yeah.
lineups, and it was.
This place was rocking.
Remember, it was these two schools 6 months ago for the Division I Boys Championship. Won in 5 sets by Punahou. Kamehameha 12 points away. Saved there by Lilo after the swing from Kilisi. Here comes Goldstein. Softly puts it across. Net call Punahou. It's on Kilisi. Come on, 18, let's see. Yeah, right there. It was the inside blocker, Kilisi. Olave. Lilo. Arquette off the block. Covered there by Lum. And then here comes Goldstein.
You know, you think about this Kamehameha team, so many seniors this year, but you got Goldstein and Chalk coming back in at the outside hitter positions and Lum in the libero. They're going to be in good shape for the next few years.
There's some worried looks here for Punahou. Uluave. Hot shot right there to Lilo. Goldstein again.
Wow.
What a big pickup, Uluave. And Kamehameha scores a point on a double contact. The lead is 5. Tito Huna stands up.
Take a look at how far Uluave gets on this play. Her range, right? Can't wait to see her wear the big Y on her jersey.
13 digs for her, along with 16 kills.
Right now, their libero at BYU's got some Hawaii roots. Maybe they just passed the baton at the libero position there. Also, Aria Macomber, one of their DSs this season.
Oh, pass goes over. Arquette gives a shoulder shot to Binney. And a timeout here for Punahou. 17-11.
I'll tell you, there was a time in this match where the wheels fell off and Chris Blake willed this team back in the match, right? I asked him, hey, what'd you do last night? You go, what do you know, you play the match, you go home. He says, I check in with the family and then I'm just buried in prep, in video, and getting ready for this match. I said, are you a big sleeper? He's like, shakes his head. Sleep's a little bit overrated. I'll get it when I get it.
So the same thing to me too, and his attention to detail and his dedication to his craft has made him so special, and it's allowed him to really kind of tinker things. And he does a great job of let's just let this play out, figure it out, you'll be on your own. He gets a lot of leash to these players, and Sidney Casimiro has capitalized on 2 kills, got a block in this match.
And how do you prepare for that, right? Like, there's no way to know. You can think through all the possibilities, but not one of them is like Sidney Casimiro gets in there and I got to make a gut decision on whether the ankle cleared's going to come in or I'm going to stick with my senior who's gotten a block and a really big kill.
17-11. 3 ties and just 1 lead change here. You see Arquette's numbers. Chalk has 15 kills, hitting 400 with 4 digs.
And what's been really effective for them, right? She goes to 3 rotations through the front row. They pull her out in the back. And so right when she comes back in, she's got to be the freshest of all the offensive hitters out here.
The bench is getting loud here for Kamehameha. And they're told the bench to sit down. And Chris Blake says, I got it. My bad. The run is 5. The lead is 6. Lolly pops this one over. Blocked. Kamehameha. This is a dangerous Kamehameha team, and here's why. This is a much more relaxed squad than what showed up in set number 2.
Look at that. That's what a D1 college block looks like.
Uluwave, nicely done. Continuing to showcase 17 here for Uluwave. She's still the only Buff and Blue player in double digits kills. Marumoto back in the front row here for Punahou. Off the block and in. There's Marumoto helping out.
Always amazed, right? On the sideline for a long time. How do you just get right back in and make a great block move like this? Evan Polisi making the really good decision, right? She commits on this and really forces Kamehameha to hit a shot she didn't want to hit.
Overpass, Clark! Pulls within 3. Timeout Warriors. That's what they needed. Look at Indigo Clark. Right place, right time. 8 kills, hitting .263. Just 3 hitting errors and a dig. For the beach volleyball collegiate athlete after this year is over at Stanford. And man, Punahou refusing to go away quietly.
I gotta watch my pacing too. My voice is starting to go, Felipe. I've been yelling and yelling and screaming. We're gonna have to sub 1 to Jimmy Bender here soon. Clark's gonna have to come big. The service pressure right now from Benny gonna be really key. On the other side for Kamehameha. Gotta get that steady pass. And gotta deliver. Punahou still looking for their first ace in this set. They haven't gotten an ace yet.
And they're looking for their first title in 9 years. It would be title number 10. Kamehameha at the top, overwhelmingly. Doubling up on the number 2 spot. University Laboratory. 8 Division I titles. They picked up 1 in Division II, so that's 9 total. But this Division I specifically, Iolani got their licks in there. 4 of them winning last year. Their win over Kamehameha, Hawaii. A 2-1 lead in the match. Let's check in with Jimmy.
Hey, I just want to let you guys know we might need a 3rd string if Kevin goes out, because I'm on 3 days of no sleep, caffeinated beverages, and adrenaline right now.
You're still holding up well. Well done. Look at you guys pros. Goldstein. Flung out. Arquette out.
Wow.
Flag went up. It's out. And now here with one of their better servers. Here's Benny. 39 assists, 9 digs tonight. Chance to answer back Goldstein on a pop-up. Watson calls everyone off. It's an Arquette attempt. 2-handed push. Chance to cut it in half now with Clark.
What is going on? Right? Like, this is more twist than a Shyamalan movie.
M. Night Shyamalan, you mean?
That's what I meant. My brain's a little fried along with my voice.
Arquette recycled back, punched it back up. Back bump for Watson. Goldstein swing. Benny there. Tevez outside for Clark. Kamehameha trying to stop the bleeding again. Goldstein will give him a free chance. Marumoto gets her spot. Instead it goes to the middle for Khaleesi. We're tied.
Number 18 in blue. 471, 9 kills. 4 blocks.
18-18. Nine here for Khaleesi. Hitting .471.
And this is the one time you really shouldn't wipe the floor, right? They're on such a roll. They scored so many points in a row. I don't care if there's like someone spilled a water ball across the street. You gotta serve.
Slow down the pace a little bit. The energy is high. We start over now, essentially, in an 18-18 score. Goldstein, Lilo, Goldstein. Uluwame for the lead. Maru Mono. Met there by Watson. Arquette is out. Benny dodged it. And the Buff and Blue have the lead.
One more timeout left for Chris Blake. He's not using it yet.
Pass a little off right to Arquette, and they're going to get a free chance out of it. Oh, nearly put down though by Goldstein. Here's Clark with the right. It goes into the net.
And Chris Blake again saying, let's go, let's go. Yeah, I'm so used to Chris Blake, the math department chair. What we're seeing tonight is like Chris Blake, the cheerleader chair, right?
It's eerily similar to the set number 3 last night in the semis against Baldwin. Baldwin made that run after having tough first and second sets. Came close, didn't get over the top and pull out a win. But they got to around 19-19, 20-20 in that mix in set 3 last night. Chris Blake opted not to take the timeout, let it play out. But now you're letting this play out. He doesn't have timeout left, as you mentioned. You're letting it play out for a state title, though. That's the difference. Deadlock at 19. Marmoto tight at the tower. Into the block. And it's Casemiro.
Oh, man. The cast of characters for tonight's movie has gone deep on both sides. A lot of supporting actors.
And no one's on strike. Here's Clark. There's a strike for her. Picked up in the back row. Lilo outside. Goldstein off the high hands. Uluwame says, I got it. Benny will go to Clark. Off the soft touch. There's Arquette to save it. Lilo back to Goldstein. There's Uluwame. Tight at the net. Watch out. Benny fished it out. And Clark went into the net again. Tita Ahuna, one timeout. We'll take it here.
Two amazing coaches, right? Legendary status. Tita Ahuna first as a player in high school level, then she goes on to be a University of Hawaii national champion. She comes back, she coaches college, she coaches high school. She wins at every single level. On the other side, Chris Blake, right off of the one misstep in his entire coaching career. Right, a misstep that haunts him even to this day, even to the moment before the match.
Right, got to the state tournament, 20 consecutive years. They've been pretty much in every single final since '03.
Yeah, and he said, you know, last year it was at Punahou. Punahou eliminated us at their home. So proud of my team, but myself, I let us down. Said I held on to it till now. It is driving me to make changes, to relook at the situation. How has coaching changed since I was doing it before? Like, think about that. How do you handle adversity, not just as a player, but as a coach as well?
It amazes me from a human brain perspective and a coaching perspective for both squads, right? How heartbreak and disappointment can spark profound reinvention, and how we can just find a way to keep that wheel going, and the spokes just keep turning and turning and turning, and it's just that unreal ability to just power through mentally. That, right? I'm just so impressed with the two coaches tonight. Anybody that coaches in a stressful situation. No timeouts here for Punahou. They're going to play this out the rest of the way. Down 2 and down in the match by 1.
I have no idea who Benny should go to here.
It'll go to Uluwave from the back row. Rattled the cable. Down low was Lilo. Middle. Casemiro just swiped at it. There's Binney. Clark another crack at it. Took a swipe. Right there in the back by Takafuji. Mishandled. And everybody in Punahou side called it. And a good call there up top. Double contact.
Definitely a good call. You know, we think about the nervousness of playing in these matches. You know how we both get nervous before broadcasting. The referees as well. Like, that's another lesson, right? Like, nervousness is part of the process. Our referees have been on fire here tonight.
So Heilani Moriwaki to the back corner for Goldstein. Here's Arquette from the right. Moriwaki, net called again. It's on Kilisi. (22 to 20) is on the turn, or maybe the block. You know, on the downward. Took the bottom half of the net. Binney, Kilisi, she's blocked there by Casemiro, covered by Moriwaki. Here's Uluwave, off the cable, no touch. 23-20.
Another amazing block from Casemiro, right? She was ready for her moment.
Uluwave. Violent.
Reese Tevis been serving tough all night long. She's got to get a couple, right? They need an ace. They need some pressure. That's a good one. That's a good one.
They are crushing Kamehameha behind the service line. 8-1. This one ultra important here for Tevis. Tough one there. Lilo got it to Goldstein. Through the block, stabbed by Binney. Popped up. Marumoto keeps the rally going. Lum, Lilo, Goldstein sliding there. Moriwaki, a chance to tie Uluwave. Oh, a dive from Watson, that was spectacular. Hit over by Marumoto, then Watson. Goldstein into the block there of Brown. Lilo, middle, Casemiro, Uluwave. It goes outside of Marumoto. Taking back there is Arquette. Watson to Goldstein. Another chance to tie it. Binney outside. Uluwave off the block. Tevis keeps it alive. It goes back to Uluwave. Off the touch. Reeled in by Lum. Here comes Goldstein. She jams it.
This play, for all intents and purposes, was down. And Kalei Watson said, not on my watch.
Aloha ball, Kamehameha. Uluwave off the block, Arquette, they can win it. It's Chalk, picked up by Moriwaki. Here comes Uluwave, hard angle right there to Chalk. Chalk to win it, right back at her. Goldstein covers, near the net, watch out, Casemiro gets denied. Lum calls it off, Chalk a third chance, hits it out, and it is ruled a touch! And it's the crown jewel of an amazing year-long comeback. Kamehameha, 2023 state champions. One more look at the touch. Goes off of Marumoto. Here it is. left hand and a right hand. The fingers bend back. You see the laces and the design of the ball spinning faster, and that does it. Phenomenal finish. From heartbreak to superheroes. For the 24th time in school history, Kamehameha's kingdom will last another year. The trophy to the top of the hill. Warrior Nation rejoice. The Warriors back on top. Well, in a match that took 2 hours and 22 minutes, Kamehameha able to win this one in 4. So close through the end. It ends on a touch call, which was the right call. And it's the call that they'll remember for a long time, because for the 24th time they win the state crown. Kamehameha, just one loss this season, but they are pushed to the brink against a very good Punahou team here tonight, Kev.
Yeah, I think that Tito Ahuna had the right plan, had the right personnel out there, and that was a battle for the ages.
Time now for the Hawaii Honda-Deers impact player here for the Warriors. Here's Jimmy Bender.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Kalad Chalk is here with me. 2 and 3 nights for you. We saw you in the quarterfinals getting the impact player as well. First question, was this match as crazy as it felt like watching it?
Yes, it was very crazy. When we walked in already, we saw how many people were coming, all the supporters, and we want to thank them as well. But before this, during that seventh pass, we were really nervous, and we just had to scream that out, and that's what we did. And we want to thank our supporters as well, because they really helped us with the energy and all.
Talk about the transition of not even making it to states last year, this team, and then this year winning it all.
Yeah, last year, Punahou ended our season as a team, and it was our first time in the past 20 years. And so this really motivated us for this season, and so we got it done within this 4 sets.
And how about the senior class? What do they mean to you as a sophomore?
This whole senior class really gives me the most honorable and memorable moments, as I said before, but they teach me most valuable lessons as well. HRK has been a role model ever since she's been playing on the varsity. Tia Kapihe, Emalilo, Clay Watson, they've always been my role models, and I just want to thank them for always being there.
How's your voice doing?
Not so good.
All of us, right?
Yeah.
Hey, last question real quick. That floor, I want to ask you about it. That floor is super bouncy. What was it like to play on?
It sounded like thunder. Everyone, it was like an earthquake, but we still managed to get it done. It was just fun playing with these girls.
Congratulations, Kalad Chalk, impact player twice this week, guys. Back to you.
It wasn't just the amount of kills here, Kev. It was her hitting percentage, where she flirted around 400 for a majority of the match. And the future's in pretty good hands here with Chalk. 16 kills and 5 digs tonight.
Yeah, daughter of a legend, gonna be a legend in the making, and I tell you, she's got all the tools. We're gonna see some great things from number 16 over the next couple of years.
At 394 this evening here for Chalk, and the emotion just pouring through, just seeping through the pores of everyone that poured their heart and soul into tonight. Arquette in that picture, all smiles here for the Warriors. All right, let's see what the winning head coach has to say. Here's Chris Blake with Jimmy.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Chris Blake, what a match this was, and what a turnaround for this team in one season.
You know, we're really proud of our girls, of how they fought. You know, last year was a challenge for us. Made us reflect on a lot of things. You know, a lot of soul searching. It forced us to change and do a lot of things differently in order to evolve. You know, our girls, especially our seniors, were able to find things and do the right things. A lot of great leadership out there from both our captains, and they helped us get to the position that we're in. But, you know, the way that they stuck out, gritted it out, and knew we had to play is a testament to what Punahou has done to do us to make sure we're getting better. And I'm proud of our girls for playing our best match in the last match of the season.
You mentioned the seniors. What about the youth? When you see a Kala Chalk getting 2 Impact Player Awards in 3 nights through a state tournament run, what does that mean to you for the future?
Well, you know, she's a tiger. She's a dog. You know, and finding ways for her to continue to contribute. And what's best thing about it is it's more than just her. She made sure that she connected with her teammates and raising everybody up. You know, it's a sign of a champion. And I think for our team, it's a great way for us to step through this. And I'm proud of our girls, proud of our coaching staff, proud of the way that our school represented and doing the best that we can for Hawaii volleyball.
We've seen so much emotion from you over the last couple of nights, especially tonight, though. What was that about?
You know, finding ways to play for each other, doing everything that we can. We tell our girls to play with heart, you know, and they played for each other tonight. They played to win, and when the chips were down, they found a way to raise up, make some amazing plays, and came out on top. You know, finding ways to make sure that we celebrate our team for this, and we're very proud of them tonight.
We couldn't talk to Chris Blake without asking about the visor, especially because it's a new one tonight. Tell me about the visor.
Well, the thing is, we're representing our Maui communities who are doing over there. It's important to make sure and remember they've been through a lot of tragedies, and finding out ways to make sure to remember what it's all about, to know who we are, to know where we are in Hawaii, and making sure we're there. They're always in our hearts, and making sure we're representing those who have lost and those who are going to be there for the future.
Well-deserved win for you tonight. Go enjoy it with your team. Guys, back to you.
Chris, thank you so much for your time, as always, throughout the entire season. 12 state titles as a head coach now here for Chris Blake, and just showing the ultimate level of class. Again, the pillars of this program, right? They play for the ones that came before them, the ones that are with them, and the ones that will come after them. And he continues to just show, you know, a gold-level character.
We know, you know, when you're in the realm of greatness, right? And that's a guy who's got so much mana, he's got so much wisdom, he's got such and he's given back so much. He's a great guy.
All right, let's sneak in the Hawaii Honduras Impact Player for Punahou as they're giving out the medals for Kamehameha. Lulu Uluawe, remember that name, her legacy gonna last a long time on that Punahou campus, left her heart and soul out onto the court here tonight, and just continues to shine.
She's a fighter. She's got willpower galore. She's got so much skill, and I tell you, her energy turned this match around and actually had Kamehameha at one point in time felt like they were on their heels, right? What a crazy match.
It's ridiculous, like 2 hours and 22 minutes, and they're winding down the final medals. It'll go to the players and then the coaches, and then the state trophy will be raised momentarily here at the Cannon Activity Center. It's happened so many times, and it's weird because the trophy only stands about 28 inches tall. It weighs only about 7 pounds, but it's not what it's made of, it's what it represents. All that work over the last 12 months for that little thing right there that'll be back on the campus. Chris Chun and Darren Oshira up there. Representatives from New City Nissan. He'll go to Chris Blake. And then party time here for these young women. Who will it go to first? Everyone. Nearly 100 players came out for tryouts across the 6 different teams. They found success at the younger levels. This is the ultimate level of success here tonight, especially for those 10 seniors. Talk about Punahou real quick here. Punahou, awesome effort, right? And they had to go through the grind. They had 5 losses this season, all against the team that eventually won the state trophy. How are you going to tie a bow on what we've seen here so far, Punahou season?
You know, I think you got to look at effort. You got to look at the fact that they got knocked down and knocked down and knocked down, and they came back with a plan. They came back with more resolve, and I honestly believe this, that Punahou gave their best effort here tonight. It's just went against a buzzsaw.
Took a set off of Kamehameha. Tita Ahuna still getting all the love and well-deserving. 3 years, just awesome work. Congratulations to her and her staff on a great season. Through all of the madness that we saw, which include a long rally and the 24th point here for Kamehameha. Only one can be the Taco Bell play of the game. Adriana Arquette. There's a block. There's a block. Cox one more time. There's a block. Her and Goldstein. The three of the hat trick of blocks to stifle it. That was just one of many weird plays that we saw. The rally for the 24-point, that might be the best rally you're going to see all season. And tonight, the trophy will go back to the top of the hill after a long wait. And Kamehameha 2023 state champs. Post-game show's coming up next here from the Cannon Activity Center. The celebration has only begun for the new queens of the court here in Hawaii.
From Spectrum OC16, it's the Hawaiian Financial FCU post-game show.
If you want to find that trophy, you find it at the top of the hill. Crazy year-long comeback from the couch to the cannon and to the crown here for Kamehameha. Watching the state final a year ago, these are the final match stats.
What? I mean, this match is the crazy storyline, right? It's frenetic. It doesn't make any sense. Kamehameha won the offensive battle, doubling up. They were much better at blocking. Both teams played lights out defensively. Punahou, look at the service pressure. 8-6 versus 1-12. I mean, what a crazy set of stats. And it totally makes sense for the craziest match I think I've ever done in the finals.
Same here, and it just goes to show really that level of volleyball here in the islands has become a hotbed for talent and colleges, all parts of the country. If you get to watch this match back, soak it in a little bit, because you saw BYU, you saw Santa Clara, Utah Tech, you saw University of Hawaii in that group. I mean, this sport has really become so special, obviously, for people in Hawaii for so many years. And the reason why is because of these coaches and these tremendous talents that we saw the last 2.5 hours.
Look at a proud mom, Tony Nishida there, bottom left corner. Handing out some lays. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, right? Passing the torch on to your daughter.
And you know what? The funny thing is, like, the season for them is only going to begin on Monday, essentially, right? You're preparing for the 2024 campaign. Jimmy, we're here for 2 amazing matches, right? And history on one side for Mid-Pacific. More history continued, the 24 title for Kamehameha. How do you make sense of all this?
Well, guys, here's the thing. In this last match, when it's a heavyweight one like that, I'm looking for turning points in each set. And we'll start in set number 1 when Adriana Arquette, she goes with the off speed. She goes with the roll shot, gets it down, and puts them up 22-21. And they would go on to win that set. But it was a perfect timing on that roll shot for Adriana Arquette. But in set number 2, Punahou says, wait, hold on. Lulu Uluave, she gets the kill, puts them up in that Felipe Ohastro approved 5-point cushion. They're at 17-12 at that point, and they would need that cushion, and they would go on to win set number 2. But in the final set, who's it going to be? It's going to be Adriana Arquette again. The overpass, she gets the kill. That one puts them up 6 points, and they would need that cushion as well in that final set because Punahou stormed back. But I tell you what, it was all about turning points tonight, guys.
I tell you what, big shout out to the fans as well for Buff Nation and Warrior Nation that came out. It's not easy driving at least an hour from where they live, we presume, to get up here. But they made this environment all the more special here in a 4-set battle, which ends with Kamehameha 2023 state champs. When we come back, we will put a bow on the girls' volleyball season. The jump photo, of course, and the Warriors win this one.
Welcome back to the Hawaiian Financial FCU post-game show.
Hey, huge shout out to everyone at BYU-Hawaii and Brandon O'Connor and everyone at the Cannon Activity Center. Sonny Uphuck, we love you. Thank you so much for letting us hang out in your office as well. Kamehameha wins this one 25-23, 19-22, and 22. We got a programming note. A little less than 20 hours from now, we'll be in Hawaii Kai for the last and the 11th and final game of this week alone, as the first round of the First Hawaiian Bank State Football Championships gets underway, as a battle of Kalihi out there over at Kaiser. Farrington will take on Damien. Today, the tournament began. Congratulations to Roosevelt knocking off Kamehameha Hawaii and Pac-5 knocking off Kaimuki. Those 2 teams advance into the state semifinals. One more thank you here to all the athletic directors and the coaches that we got to work with, our administrators that we get to work with, everyone in the neighbor islands and their leagues for letting us come by and Kauai, and it's just been a great volleyball season. All right, time now for the last gasp of the season. It's a little segment we call match points. I'll let you go first here, partner.
You use the word, so epic, right? And an epic is like this story that is amazing. And in order to have an epic novel or movie or whatever it is, you need a backstory, right? And the backstory was that Punahou ended Kamehameha's season last year in disastrous fashion. You need leadership on both sides. We got Chris Blake, Tita Ahuna. You need a cast of characters. Tia Kapihe, you got Benny, you got Uluave, and then you need some supporting actresses like Sid Casimiro, who just comes out of nowhere, right? Like, we had every single element. You add in the plot twist, you add in all the crazy journeys. This was epic tonight.
It's pretty crazy, and who knew that Kamehameha would eventually be the Avengers here this evening, right? Awesome. I will go next. Hey, you guys, come here real quick. Yeah, come here real quick. Yeah, these people, you want to wave hi? Just wave hi on TV. All right. You're coming over there. Thank you, buddy. All right. That'll do, boys. That'll do. Thank you. I got some more thank yous. The athletic administrators and everyone, as we mentioned. Our great crew. We've had 10 volleyball games this week. Scott Robbs, Jordan Helly, Dan Schmidt, everyone on the other crew for Spectrum XCast. Thanks for taking us through this long ride. Scott Robbs in that mix, too. I also want to thank magician David Bain. And I want to thank movie director M. Night Shyamalan this evening. Love you guys very much. Appreciate you. Jimothy, what do you have, buddy?
Guys, I just want to counter something you guys mentioned earlier somewhere in the broadcast where you guys said that I was one of the top 5 coolest dudes in Hawaii years ago. I want to point something out. Christian, can you zoom in on this? That was me back during the era that you're talking about, the guy in the middle. Does that guy look cool to you? I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. You're the one in the middle, obviously, right?
I'm the one in the middle there.
And for those who don't know what Me So Hungry or what this thing that you're showing is, you want to explain that?
Yeah, 3 local boys. This was one of our first parody songs that we did, Me So Hungry. Look at that, though.
Oh yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Oh.
Funky Cold Medina.
I love it. That's not bad, but this is not good.
Yeah.
I was not cool back then, and with a radio name like Jimmy the Geek, it's kind of hard to be cool.
Jimmy, you're really underselling how hard you work, and it's been a long week for everyone. Our friends in El Segundo, we appreciate you as well. Our friends at NEP, thank you so much. Love you, buddy. It's been great. Let's do this every 10 years, all right? We'll do it every 10 years. I'll meet you back here 2033 for the girls' state final. Thrilling state final here. Mid-Pacific makes history, their first state title. Kamehameha wins their 24th. Our friends at the HHSAA, we love you. We're going to see you tomorrow for the first Hawaiian Bank State Football Championship Tournament in Division 1. Kevin Wong, Jimmy Bender, our producer Dave Vinton, our director Kelly Nakasone, the outstanding women and men of our OC16 crew. Felipe Alhastro support high school sports. Kamehameha reigns supreme yet again here in 2023.